Imagine a small village nestled among green hills, where everyone knew everyone. In this village lived Aisha, a young woman with skin the color of rich, dark chocolate. She had a smile that could light up a room and a heart full of kindness. Aisha dreamed of finding a loving husband and starting a family, just like her friends. But Aisha's dreams felt far away. In her village, many people believed that lighter skin was more beautiful. Young men would often pass her by, choosing girls with fairer complexions. This made Aisha feel sad and unwanted. She wondered if she would ever find someone who loved her for who she was, inside and out. Despite the whispers and sideways glances, Aisha never stopped being kind and helpful to everyone around her. She helped her mother with chores, cared for her younger siblings, and always had a kind word for her neighbors. She held on to the hope that one day, someone would see the beauty in her heart and not just the color of her skin. Her story was just beginning, a story filled with both sadness and the promise of something wonderful. The village of Ayatun was a place where traditions ran deep, like the roots of the ancient baobab tree in the center of the square. For generations, families had lived and worked together, sharing joys and sorrows. Marriage was seen as a sacred union, a way to continue the family line and strengthen the community. In Ayatun, beauty was often defined by the color of one's skin. Lighter skin, a legacy of ancestors from distant lands, was admired and considered a sign of good fortune. Mothers would often advise their daughters to stay out of the sun, hoping to keep their skin as fair as possible. This belief, passed down through generations, had unintentionally created a bias against those with darker complexions, like Aisha. While everyone in Ayatun was generally kind and respectful, this unspoken preference for lighter skin made it difficult for young women like Aisha to find husbands. Matchmakers, who played an important role in arranging marriages, often overlooked Aisha, focusing instead on girls who fit the community's narrow definition of beauty. This deeply ingrained belief made Aisha's dream of marriage seem almost impossible to achieve. The annual harvest festival was always a time of excitement in Ayatun. Young men and women, dressed in their finest clothes, would gather to celebrate the bounty of the land and, perhaps, find a partner. Aisha always attended, hoping that this year would be different. She would carefully braid her hair, adorn herself with colorful beads, and put on her brightest smile. But as she walked through the bustling crowds, Aisha couldn't help but notice the way the young men's eyes seemed to glide past her, settling on girls with lighter skin. She saw her friends, girls with complexions the color of honey or caramel, being courted and admired. Some young men even made jokes, whispering about how Aisha's skin was too dark or unbecoming. These rejections stung. Each averted gaze, each whispered comment, chipped away at Aisha's confidence. She tried to ignore the pain, reminding herself of her good qualities, her kindness, and her strong work ethic. But deep down, she couldn't help but wonder if she was destined to be alone, forever an outsider in her own community. The harvest festival, meant to be a celebration, became another reminder of her perceived flaws. Back in her small hut, after the harvest festival, Aisha sat alone, the festive music now a distant echo. Tears welled up in her eyes, blurring the familiar surroundings. She looked at her reflection in a small, cracked mirror. "Am I not beautiful?" she whispered to herself, her voice barely audible. "Am I not worthy of love?" She thought of her mother, who always told her that beauty comes from within. But even her mother's words couldn't completely erase the pain of constant rejection. Aisha began to compare herself to the other girls in the village, focusing on their lighter skin, their long, flowing hair, and their seemingly effortless charm. She started to believe that she was somehow less than them, that her dark skin was a curse. Sleep offered little escape. Aisha's dreams were filled with images of laughing couples and happy families, all with lighter skin. She woke up each morning feeling heavy-hearted, the weight of her unfulfilled dreams pressing down on her. The once bright and cheerful Aisha was slowly becoming withdrawn, her smile fading, her spirit dimming. The constant rejection had taken its toll, leaving her feeling lost and alone. One day, a stranger arrived in Ayatun. His name was Samuel, and he was a wealthy farmer from a faraway land. He had come to Ayatun seeking a wife, someone to share his life and help him manage his sprawling farm. Samuel's arrival caused quite a stir in the village. He was known for his kindness and generosity, and many families hoped that he would choose one of their daughters. Samuel was different from the young men in Ayatun. He didn't seem to care much about skin color. He was more interested in a woman's character, her work ethic, and her ability to love and care for others. He believed that true beauty came from within, a quality that shone through a person's actions and words. He spent his first few days observing the villagers, watching how they interacted with each other and how they worked in the fields. He noticed Aisha, who, despite her sadness, continued to help her family and neighbors with unwavering dedication. He saw her gentle touch with animals, her patience with children, and her quiet strength in the face of adversity. Samuel was intrigued. There was something special about Aisha, something that went far beyond her appearance. Samuel's views on beauty were quite different from those held by many in Ayatun. He had traveled extensively and seen beauty in all shapes, sizes, and colors. He believed that a person's true worth lay in their heart, their actions, and the way they treated others. He often said, "A kind heart is more beautiful than any pretty face." He valued hard work and dedication. He needed a wife who was willing to work alongside him on the farm, someone who understood the importance of tending to the land and caring for the animals. He wasn't looking for a delicate flower, he wanted a strong, capable partner. Samuel also believed in the importance of inner strength. Life on the farm could be challenging, and he needed a wife who could face adversity with courage and resilience. He admired Aisha's quiet strength, her ability to keep going even when things were difficult. He saw in her a spirit that would not be easily broken, a quality that he deeply admired. For Samuel, true beauty was a combination of kindness, hard work, and inner strength, qualities that he saw in abundance in Aisha. One afternoon, Samuel saw Aisha helping an elderly woman carry a heavy basket of mangoes. The woman was struggling, her steps faltering. Aisha, without hesitation, rushed to her side, gently taking the basket and supporting the woman's arm. Samuel watched, impressed by Aisha's selfless act. Later that day, he saw her tending to a small garden, carefully watering the plants and weeding the soil. He noticed the way she spoke to the flowers, as if they were her friends. He could see the love and care she put into everything she did. Samuel also observed Aisha interacting with children. She would gather them around her, telling them stories and teaching them songs. The children were drawn to her warmth and kindness, their faces lighting up with joy in her presence. These small acts of kindness and compassion solidified Samuel's admiration for Aisha. He realized that she possessed all the qualities he was looking for in a wife: a kind heart, a strong work ethic, and a genuine love for others. He knew that he had to speak to her family. He had to ask for her hand in marriage. With a determined heart, Samuel approached Aisha's family. He spoke to her parents with respect and sincerity, explaining his intentions and his admiration for their daughter. He told them about his farm, his values, and his desire to build a life with Aisha. Aisha's parents were surprised, to say the least. They had always worried about their daughter's prospects for marriage, given the community's preference for lighter skin. They had seen her sadness and felt helpless to change the situation. At first, they were hesitant. Samuel was a stranger, and his offer seemed too good to be true. They questioned his motives, wondering why a wealthy farmer would choose their daughter, who had been rejected by so many others. However, as they listened to Samuel speak, they were touched by his genuine kindness and his obvious respect for Aisha. They saw in his eyes a sincerity that they couldn't ignore. They decided to consider his proposal, promising to discuss it with Aisha and seek her opinion. The news of Samuel's proposal quickly spread throughout the village, causing quite a commotion. The news of Samuel's proposal sent ripples of shock and disbelief through Ayatun. Many couldn't understand why a wealthy, successful farmer would choose Aisha, a girl who had been overlooked by so many. Some whispered that Samuel must have a hidden motive, that he was perhaps being tricked or was simply eccentric. Others were openly critical, questioning Samuel's judgment and suggesting that he should have chosen a girl with lighter skin, someone who better fit the community's ideal of beauty. They gossiped amongst themselves, wondering what Aisha had done to attract Samuel's attention. Even some of Aisha's friends were skeptical. While they were happy for her, they couldn't help but feel a pang of jealousy. They wondered if Aisha would change, if she would become arrogant or distant now that she had been chosen by such a prominent man. The initial reaction of the community was a mixture of surprise, skepticism, and even a little bit of envy. It was clear that Samuel's choice had challenged their deeply ingrained beliefs about beauty and worth. When Aisha's parents told her about Samuel's proposal, she was stunned. She couldn't believe that someone like Samuel, a wealthy and respected farmer, would want to marry her, especially after all the rejection she had faced. A wave of doubt washed over her. "Why me?" she asked her parents, her voice trembling. "There are so many other girls in the village who are prettier, who have lighter skin." She couldn't shake the feeling that there must be something wrong, that Samuel's offer was too good to be true. She also worried about leaving her family and her village. She had never been away from home before, and the thought of moving to a new place, with new people, filled her with anxiety. What if she couldn't adapt to life on the farm? What if she disappointed Samuel? Despite her doubts, a tiny spark of hope flickered within her. Could it be possible that someone truly saw her worth, that someone valued her for who she was on the inside? It was a tempting thought, but she was afraid to believe it fully, afraid of being disappointed yet again. Samuel, sensing Aisha's hesitation, asked her parents if he could speak with her alone. He wanted to reassure her, to explain his feelings in his own words. Aisha, though nervous, agreed to meet him under the ancient baobab tree in the center of the village. As they sat beneath the tree's sprawling branches, Samuel looked into Aisha's eyes and spoke with gentle sincerity. "Aisha," he said, "I see your kindness, your strength, and your unwavering spirit. I admire the way you care for others and the dedication you bring to everything you do." He continued, "Your skin is beautiful, the color of rich earth, and it reflects the strength and resilience of your ancestors. But it is not just your beauty that I admire. It is your heart, Aisha. It is your heart that has captured my attention." He told her about his travels, his experiences, and his belief that true beauty comes from within. He assured her that he wasn't looking for a perfect wife, but for a partner, someone to share his life and build a future together. He promised to always respect her, cherish her, and love her for who she was. Aisha listened intently to Samuel's words, her heart pounding in her chest. His sincerity was undeniable, his admiration genuine. For the first time in a long time, she felt seen, truly seen, for who she was on the inside. The weight of years of rejection began to lift from her shoulders. Looking into Samuel's kind eyes, Aisha realized that he wasn't just saying words, he truly believed them. He saw her beauty, not just in spite of her dark skin, but because of it. He valued her kindness, her strength, and her unwavering spirit. After a moment of reflection, Aisha made her decision. With a hopeful smile, she turned to Samuel and said, "Yes, Samuel. I will marry you." A wave of relief and happiness washed over Samuel's face. He reached out and gently took Aisha's hand, his eyes shining with affection. "Thank you, Aisha," he said. "You have made me the happiest man in the world." As they walked back to Aisha's home, hand in hand, a new chapter began. As the wedding day approached, Ayatan buzzed with activity. Aisha's family and friends worked tirelessly to prepare for the celebration. Samuel, known for his generosity, provided everything needed for a grand wedding feast, ensuring that everyone in the village could partake in the joy. The preparations blended traditions from both Ayatan and Samuel's homeland. Colorful fabrics were woven, traditional songs were rehearsed, and delicious dishes were prepared, combining local ingredients with exotic spices. Samuel insisted that Aisha's heritage be honored, incorporating elements of her culture into the ceremony and festivities. Aisha's friends helped her choose a beautiful wedding gown, a flowing white dress adorned with intricate beadwork. Samuel also gifted her a stunning necklace made of precious stones, a symbol of his love and commitment. Despite the excitement, Aisha still felt a flicker of trepidation. She worried about fitting in on the farm, about adapting to a new life away from her family. But Samuel reassured her, promising to always be there for her, to support her, and to help her navigate any challenges they might face together. The wedding preparations were a testament to their growing love and the blending of two different worlds. The wedding day dawned bright and clear, a perfect day for a celebration of love. Aisha awoke with a mix of excitement and nerves. As she dressed in her beautiful gown, surrounded by her friends and family, she couldn't help but smile. When she stepped out of her home, the sight that greeted her took her breath away. The entire village was decorated with flowers and colorful streamers. People lined the streets, their faces beaming with joy. As she walked towards the center of the village, where the ceremony would take place, Aisha felt a surge of confidence. Samuel stood waiting for her, his eyes filled with love and admiration. As Aisha approached him, she radiated happiness. Her dark skin glowed in the sunlight, her smile lit up the entire village. She was no longer the shy, insecure girl who had been rejected by so many. She was a confident, beautiful woman, loved and cherished for who she was. The wedding day was not just a celebration of their love, but also a celebration of Aisha's inner beauty and strength. As the ceremony progressed, the community of Ayatun watched with a newfound understanding. They witnessed the love and respect between Aisha and Samuel, a love that transcended skin color and societal expectations. They saw how Samuel cherished Aisha, not just for her beauty, but for her kind heart and unwavering spirit. Many of those who had once been skeptical began to see the error of their ways. They realized that true beauty wasn't about the shade of one's skin, but about the qualities that made a person unique and special. They saw how Aisha's dark skin radiated strength and resilience, a testament to her inner beauty. The wedding became a turning point for the community. It challenged their deeply ingrained beliefs and opened their eyes to a more inclusive and accepting view of beauty. They realized that they had been wrong to overlook Aisha, that they had missed out on appreciating a truly remarkable woman. Samuel's choice had not only brought happiness to Aisha, but it had also taught the community a valuable lesson about the true meaning of beauty and worth. Inspired by Samuel's example and Aisha's newfound confidence, the community of Ayatun began to embrace a more inclusive view of beauty. Young women with darker skin started to hold their heads high, no longer ashamed of their heritage. Mothers stopped advising their daughters to stay out of the sun, realizing that true beauty wasn't about achieving a certain skin tone. The matchmakers, too, changed their approach, focusing on character and inner qualities rather than physical appearance. They started to see the beauty in every young woman, regardless of her skin color. The change wasn't immediate, but it was significant. Slowly but surely, the community of Ayatun began to shed its old prejudices and embrace a more diverse and accepting view of beauty. Samuel and Aisha's love had sparked a revolution, a transformation that would change the lives of generations to come. The focus shifted to celebrating everyone's unique qualities. Aisha and Samuel settled into a happy and fulfilling life on the farm. They worked side by side, tending to the land and caring for the animals. Aisha discovered a love for farming, and she thrived in her new environment. She brought her kindness and compassion to everything she did, creating a warm and welcoming home for Samuel and herself. Their farm became a haven of peace and tranquility, a place where everyone was welcome, regardless of their background or appearance. They often hosted gatherings for the community, sharing their bounty and spreading their message of love and acceptance. Aisha and Samuel's love grew stronger with each passing day. They supported each other through thick and thin, facing challenges with courage and resilience. Their farm flourished, becoming a symbol of their shared dreams and their unwavering commitment to each other. They built a life filled with love, laughter, and purpose, proving that true happiness comes from within and from sharing that happiness with others. Their bond was unbreakable. Aisha's journey from a rejected bride to a confident and beloved wife inspired many young women in Ayatun. She became a role model, a symbol of hope and self-acceptance. She would often share her story, encouraging other young women to embrace their unique qualities and to never let anyone define their worth. Aisha taught them that true beauty comes from within, from kindness, compassion, and strength of character. She encouraged them to pursue their dreams, to work hard, and to never give up on themselves. She also emphasized the importance of self-love, teaching them to appreciate their bodies, their minds, and their spirits. She helped them understand that their dark skin was not a curse, but a mark of beauty and resilience, a connection to their ancestors. Aisha's influence extended far beyond her own home. She became a mentor to countless young women, empowering them to believe in themselves and to create their own happy endings. Her legacy of self-acceptance and inner beauty would live on for generations to come. Years later, the village of Ayatan established an annual festival to celebrate diversity and inner beauty. The festival was a vibrant celebration of all that made Ayatan unique: the different skin tones, the diverse talents, and the shared values of kindness, compassion, and respect. The festival featured music, dance, art, and food from all corners of the community. Young women showcased their talents, sharing their stories and inspiring others to embrace their true selves. There were workshops on self-love, confidence building, and cultural awareness. Aisha and Samuel were always the guests of honor at the festival. They would share their story, reminding everyone that true beauty lies within and that love can conquer all. The festival became a symbol of Ayatan's transformation, a testament to the power of love, acceptance, and understanding. It was a day filled with joy, laughter, and a celebration of the unique beauty that resided in each and every member of the community. It showed how far they'd come. And so, Aisha's story became a legend in Ayatan, passed down through generations. It was a story of rejection, hope, and the transformative power of love. It reminded everyone that true beauty wasn't about skin color or physical appearance, but about the qualities that made a person unique and special. The story of the black bride rejected for her skin, until a rich farmer said she was his perfect match, became a symbol of change, a testament to the fact that love can conquer prejudice and that inner beauty will always shine through. Children grew up hearing about Aisha's kindness, her strength, and her unwavering spirit. They learned that it was important to look beyond appearances and to value people for who they were on the inside. Aisha's legacy lived on, not just in the annual festival, but in the hearts of everyone who called Ayatan home. Her story served as a constant reminder that true beauty lies within, waiting to be discovered and celebrated. It was a powerful and enduring message of hope and acceptance. And so, the tale of Aisha, the black bride initially rejected for her skin, but ultimately chosen for her heart, continues to resonate. It echoes through the valleys and hills of Ayatan, carried on the wind and whispered in the rustling leaves of the baobab tree. It is a story that transcends time, a timeless reminder that what truly matters is not what we see on the outside, but who we are on the inside. Aisha's story is a beacon of hope for anyone who has ever felt different, for anyone who has ever been judged for their appearance. It is a testament to the power of self-love, acceptance, and the unwavering belief in one's own worth. It teaches us that beauty comes in many forms, that kindness is more valuable than any physical attribute, and that true love sees beyond the surface to the heart within. Remember Aisha, and remember that you are beautiful, just the way you are. Your heart is your greatest treasure.